Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear, and I have a pouch of sorts to open. So this is an interesting story of why I have this knife. Many of you know, if you watch my channel a lot, that I'm good friends with LeftyEDC. His name's Kevin, great dude. I'll link to his channel below because he's on YouTube now, and he's making like daily content at least. He's crushing it. Good, interesting videos from a lefty's perspective about EDC gear, mostly knives. And so he and I talk every day, along with our mutual friend Kyle, T2M Knives and Gear. And so in our group chat a couple of days ago, Kevin asked if I'd had experience with RPM 9 steel from Artisan. And I had the prototype of the Cerberus Arian, I think that's how you say it. I had that, and I used it a little bit, but I wasn't really like trying to push the limits of the steel. I was just doing some of my regular EDC stuff to see how the knife performed. And so I haven't really like tested the steel itself yet, and it's a pretty new steel. And recently I saw Dylan Mallory did some testing on his prototype fixed blade that he's doing with Artisan, so there's some testing starting to happen on it, but we were curious kind of as a collective how the steel will perform. Now, I'm not a scientific steel testing person by any means, but I do like to use knives hard, and I find excuses to do that relatively often. And so Kevin said he wanted to order an Artisan knife in that steel and have it sent to me so that I could use it until I got it dull and kind of see what that took. Like, just do some objective testing on the steel. And then, after I use it enough to get it dull, I'll put a fresh edge on it, and then I'll either send it to Kyle or to him. Ultimately, this is Kevin's knife. LeftyEDC purchased this. It is for him, but he had it sent here first since I'm the one who uses knives the hardest out of the three of us. And I think it's fair for me to say that. Both of them admit that they don't typically in their daily life use knives very hard. So we are going to bust this open. This is the Artisan Arroyo, which is a new model from them that I've just kind of seen recently start popping up. I don't know any of the details of this knife. As you can see, it came from Amazon, so it's available on Amazon, or at least it was when Kevin purchased it. Something's rattling around in there. I don't know who designed this knife, or whether it's an Artisan internal design or what, but see, it comes in this like velour, crushed velvet pouch. Fancy, fancy. And then, oh, it's just silica gel that's rattling around in here. That's good. Alright, so model, apparently the number is 1845P. Blade steel is AR RPM 9. Blade hardness, they rate it between 58 and 60 HRC. This one's in G10. Ceramic ball bearing liner lock, made by CNC Machine. And it's just care and maintenance on the other side. So, let's see what we're working with in the pouch. Oh, this is smaller than I was expecting it to be. For some reason in photos, like this knife looks pretty big. Interesting. So right off the bat, love this pocket clip. They've done my favorite thing. They've done a loop over style deep carry clip that is sunk into the scale material, which it says G10 on there. This is definitely micarta. So it's countersunk into the micarta, and then they countersink the screws into that. That is what I like to see on a pocket clip. Perfectly flush under there, comes all the way to the end of the knife. Great. So 0.1 for the pocket clip. The jimping is interesting too. Weird. So there's like jimping cut into the blade, but it doesn't pass all the way through. It's just kind of on the corners of the blade steel there. Weird. Alright. AR RPM 9 steel. Oh, it's a Dirk Pinkerton design. That's cool. I like Dirk Pinkerton's designs in general. I've seen a lot of his work, at least on Instagram. I don't know if I've owned anything that's been his design. I must have at some point. Anyways, let's see how she flips. Okay, the detent felt a little light, but it did deploy all the way, obviously. That's not bad. So, this is an interesting blade shape. To me, it kind of seems like Persian meets Bowie. Like, it's kind of got like the swedge and like clip pointish thing a little bit going on, but it's also very like Persian. I'm not usually a big fan of Persian blades. There's just some oil on here. The steel almost looks It might just be the oil that's on it. It almost looks like it's got like a slight patina forming in box. I don't know how corrosion resistant RPM9 is. There's a silica gel pack in there with it, but it seems to be kind of wiping off. Anyways, so interesting blade shape. Ergos actually work quite well for me. This is a really neutral handle. So anyways, I'll save some of this for first impression. I'll review this knife like I do any knife, but I have it here to test it. So I'm going to be using it harder than I typically would a loner, because I'm purposely going to see when I can get this edge to be dull enough that it won't reliably slice paper. I guess is kind of going to be where I'll consider it dull, and then I'll throw an edge on it and we'll go to the next guy. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I like this knife more in hand than I did in photos, that's for sure. I didn't hate the design or anything like that. I thought it was somewhat compelling, but I'm not usually, like I said, drawn towards like upswept, swoopy Persian blades. But I like this micarta and the way it's finished. I like the pocket clip. I'm digging how neutral the handle is. There's a lot of pretty interesting, good stuff happening here. Very cool. So, this is the Artisan Arroyo. Again, I will link down to LeftyEDC in the description of this video. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, check him out. Subscribe to him. He's an awesome dude. And especially if you're a lefty, or if you are lefty conscious, if you know lefties and you want to be aware of what the world of knives is like from their perspective, then he's a great guy to follow. Plus, frankly, he reviews a lot of like righty-only knives, because a lot of the best knives aren't available in left-handed configurations. So he also just has good knife reviews in general. But anyways, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it, dude. And yeah, more to come on this guy soon. I'm excited to have a specific reason to like push a knife to its limits and see how it performs. So anyway, Artisan Arroyo, Dirk Pinkerton design, made in China by Artisan, and AR RPM9 steel. We're going to see how it does. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.